Yes. The movie I'm gonna talk about is Interstellar. It's directed by Christopher Nolan. This movie is set up on a future Earth where humans already have spent a lot of our resources and we have contaminated the Earth. So we are slowly dying. All our plants have died. We only live on corn. And the movie starts off with Matthew McConaughey. He's named Joseph Cooper. He's a farmer with a lot of crops. He was an ex-astronaut. Then the movie starts developing when they find a drone flying off space. This leads to a discovery where they found a base of the NASA, which NASA was already extinct because there was not enough resources. These then lead because he was a pilot, which he meets Amelia Brand. That's going to become her partner later on when they have a mission because Earth is dying and there's two planets. Plan A is a huge space station, but they have to find a gravitational formula because it's so big they cannot take it off. And Plan B is it's going to go through a wormhole where they're going to have 3 subject planets, which another time goes into Plan A and Plan B. Which Plan A is take the space shuttle into the planet, which they are going to have to investigate to know if it's a potential human habitable for humans, or Plan B, which is going to be if they cannot return to Earth, they have these specimens of humans and a lot of genetic formulas, so they're going to have to start another population. The plot of the movie divides into 3. Well, a lot of problems go on, but the main are man versus environment, man versus man, and man versus self. Man versus environment because they're living in a hostile world where they're going to have to navigate a lot of space and wormholes and times. They go through black holes. So that's man versus environment, and he's the pilot, so he has a lot of challenges. Man versus man because there's a conflict when they go into one of the worlds where the supposed scientist that was there already with the data goes, it turns out to be bad because the scientists, each one had assigned, they had to live in a world for 10 years and take data to see, and they were gonna go like collect it and take it back. So the man pushes the distress call, which means the planet is habitable, but it turns out it was not. He was just a coward who didn't want to die and want to return to Earth. So that's the man versus man. Man versus environment, I already established it, and man versus self, because the pilot, Joseph Cooper, had a daughter and a son, which were named Murphy Cooper, and the boy's name is never mentioned. Then the plot divides into 2 when you're in the last 30 minutes of the movie, where there's not just one protagonist, but 2. The pilot, which is Joseph Cooper, and the daughter, because the daughter was the main scientist in NASA finding the spatial gravity formula. So then they're divided because the world is finally going into an end, and then they're having this struggle between the scientists that went wrong and themselves. So the movie divides, like each part goes on, and at last, obviously, they concord into one movie. It's my favorite movie. It has a lot of scientific facts, not facts, but it's very scientific and it's very entertaining. Obviously, it's a sci-fi, but it entertains you a lot. So I like it very much. The characters are very well developed, and for example, Joseph Cooper is a very straight man who always wanted to go to space and explore. He was always eager to. He hated being a farmer because he was an engineer. And Amelia Brand was the daughter of the main investigator, which then Murphy Cooper worked with. So it was all very explained and what their wishes were from. So it's a very nice movie. And after all, it's funny because the main theme of this movie is love. Because it's explained in the movie, it's the only thing that's transcendent through space and time. So it's very interesting. If I told you why, it would spoil it, but it's a very nice movie. Thank you.